Sister Wives spoilers reveal that the tell-all date has finally been released and fans are thrilled about what they will see next. The tell-all will return in April, and it looks like there will be 4 parts to it. The show took a little break, and it has had fans concerned about where the Browns are. Let's take a closer look at what will happen on the tell-all and how the Browns have been doing since their break. Season 19 Tell-All. In the new clip for the tell-all, there are clearly a lot of unresolved issues between the Browns, and they will tackle them on the show with Sukanya Krishnan. On April 20 on TLC, viewers will watch on as the Browns share what they have been up to since the season ended. One of the first issues that is on the table is the land at Coyote Pass and what has happened to it. Janelle and Mary Brown are very upset about it, and it looks as if Kody Brown still hasn't bought them out of the land. There seems to be a lot of tension between Mary and Janelle, and in one scene, Janelle says, "As long as that property remains a source of contention, I can't fully move on." Mary adds that she is getting lawyers involved, and she is willing to fight for this to be over. Friendships and marriages. Fans will also see that Mary and Robyn Brown's friendship has changed, and they have a lot of tension between them. Mary will open up about their friendship on the tell-all and just how much it has changed. Robyn tells the cameras that she has ghosted her now that she is back in Utah. Robyn's name comes up quite a bit during the first part of the tell-all, and Christine Brown mentions that Kody abandoned his whole family as soon as Robyn came in. Of course, Kody thinks that the other wives punished him for falling in love with Robyn. This tell-all looks as if it will be filled with drama, and of course, the Browns wouldn't have it any other way. The tell-all airs on TLC on April 20 at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Sister Wives right now. Come back here often for Sister Wives spoilers, news, and updates. April 10, 2025 was meant to be a celebration, a milestone. Garrison Brown, son of Sister Wives stars Janelle and Kody Brown, would have turned 27. But instead of cake, laughter, and family photos, the day was wrapped in silence, reflection, and aching absence. That morning, Janelle Brown took to Instagram, not just to post a tribute, but to speak, heart to heart, to her late son in a message that shook fans to the core. This wasn't just another celebrity post. It was a mother reaching across the veil of grief to connect with a child lost too soon. Through her words, the world saw a different Janelle. Not the strong-willed mother of reality TV fame, but a woman grieving deeply, honestly, and with a courage that could only come from love. "You seem so alive in the photos." Janelle's post began with a photo, a candid image of Garrison, beaming, full of life, frozen in a moment that felt too recent, too real. Below it, her caption began with words that felt like a whispered conversation between a mother and her son. "Such a weird day. You seem so alive in the millions of photos I have. I sometimes forget I won't see you again. And then I remember." Grief is so strange. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't polished. It was raw. In those lines, Janelle captured this strange duality of grief, the way memories bring both comfort and fresh pain. The way our minds replay the laughter and the light, until reality crashes in with the reminder, they're not coming back. For Janelle, that duality plays out every day. But on April 10th, it hit with full force. It was a birthday without the birthday boy, and the silence was deafening. Remembering a son full of life to the world, Garrison was one of the many Brown children from the TLC show Sister Wives, but to Janelle he was so much more. A gentle soul with a deep laugh, a witty streak, and a heart full of compassion, especially for animals. He had adopted 3 rescue cats, often posting about them, championing shelter adoption, and reminding his followers that love doesn't need to be bought. Janelle, knowing what that passion meant to him, used her post to encourage fans to honor Garrison's legacy by donating to their local animal shelters or adopting pets in need. This cause was close to Garrison's heart. He adopted all 3 of his cats from a shelter. If you can, please make a donation in his name. Her plea wasn't about charity, it was about purpose. In the wake of senseless loss, Janelle was choosing to turn pain into action, to keep Garrison's spirit alive in the world through acts of kindness. The unseen pain. Garrison's death in March 2024 sent shockwaves through his family and the fans who had followed his journey for years. At just 25 years old, he died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound in his Flagstaff, Arizona home. The news was sudden, it was heartbreaking, and it left everyone asking. In the weeks following his death, Janelle and the rest of the family struggled with the unanswerable. Garrison had a bright future. He had dreams. He had started a Hawaiian shirt brand with his brother Gabe called Bob's Floral. He was in the National Guard, proud of his service. And yet there were signs that weren't seen clearly until it was too late. Janelle has since opened up about how grief and guilt have walked hand in hand. She's reflected on conversations, silences, and moments when she wonders what she missed. That's the brutal reality for those left behind after suicide, the torment of what if. First, without him. As the year unfolded, the Brown family faced a series of painful firsts. First holidays without him. First family dinner with one empty chair. And for Janelle, perhaps the hardest of all, her first Mother's Day without Garrison. She marked the occasion with a simple, emotional post. A photo of a strawberry rhubarb pie, a dish Garrison loved. Made this for you today. You always said it reminded you of home. It still does, but home isn't the same without you. In those quiet moments, in the rituals that once brought joy, grief whispered its loudest. Yet Janelle showed that even in sorrow, there is love. And even in loss, there is remembrance. A community of mourning. What surprised Janelle most wasn't just the pain, but the outpouring of love from fans, friends, and complete strangers who reached out to share their own memories of Garrison. Photos, messages, stories, reels of him smiling, laughing, dancing at the county fair. I've loved all the memories people have shared, she wrote. He touched so many lives. In a world where reality stars are often treated like characters in a never-ending drama, Janelle reminded everyone, these are real people. Garrison was a real young man, and his death left a real hole. Speaking into the silence. One of the most touching parts of Janelle's birthday tribute wasn't just what she said, it was who she was saying it to. The post didn't feel like it was written about Garrison. It felt like it was written to him. A digital message in a bottle, cast into the unknown. It's something many grieving parents do. Talk to the person who's gone as if they're still listening. Because maybe on some level, they are. She told him he was missed. She told him he was still alive in her memory. She told him the world still talks about him, still celebrates him, still feels the echo of his presence. And in doing so, Janelle gave permission for others to speak to their own lost loved ones, to say their names, to remember them out loud, to keep them present even in absence. A legacy bigger than a TV show. The Sister Wives series gave fans a window into the Brown family's plural lifestyle, their challenges and their joys. But behind the cameras, real life continued, and real tragedies struck. In sharing her grief so openly, Janelle has done more than pay tribute to Garrison. She's brought visibility to issues many families face in silence. Mental health struggles, the unbearable weight of losing a child, and the long road toward healing. She hasn't framed Garrison's death as a moment to be sensationalized. She's framed it as a wake-up call, a call to check in on loved ones, a call to listen deeper, a call to love louder, turning grief into action. There are whispers of future projects in Garrison's name, charity events, mental health awareness campaigns, and even a relaunch of his clothing brand, Bob's Floral, with proceeds going to causes he loved. Janelle hasn't confirmed specifics, but those close to the family say she's determined to ensure Garrison's legacy isn't defined by his death, but by his life. By his smile. By the joy he brought. By the animals he rescued and the people he inspired. It's the kind of grief work that doesn't happen overnight. But Janelle seems to understand. Healing isn't linear. It's a path paved with small steps, painful memories, and the occasional beautiful sign that love never really dies. A mother's final words. Toward the end of her birthday message to Garrison, Janelle's words grew softer. It felt like she was speaking from her heart directly to her son, perhaps with eyes full of tears, perhaps with hands trembling as she typed. You're not forgotten. You're never gone. You're in every sunset. In every laugh I hear from your siblings. In every animal that finds a home. I love you. Happy birthday, baby. It was more than a message. It was a vow. Because even in grief, even in unimaginable loss, a mother's love doesn't end. It transforms. It transcends. It speaks again and again into the silence, just in case her child can still hear her.